Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Habits of Influence podcast. My name is Magdalena Hanna. I'm your host, and I have my co host with me here.
Ian Manheimer.
It's nice to be back with you. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what are habits of influence and what are we influenced by on our journey. There's so many things that are bombarding us from every single direction, every single day, and what do we need to pay attention to in order to be able to make it in business and life, to be focused on our goals and achieve our goals as opposed to just sailing through life and hoping for the best. I remember on my journey, I used to be quite bad at discerning what is actually good for me. I don't know if you've had the same experiences. I know your journey a little bit, and I know that you must have had some bad influences in your life. But mine were mainly attached, kind of getting the wrong people around me, and listening to the wrong advice. And I know a lot of listeners can relate to that because we have all sorts of people right in our life when we go throughout our journey. We have our parents, we have our school teachers, then we have our peers, then we get into business, and we have all sorts of people wanting to give us the great advice, which is not necessarily always the best, in terms of our particular journey, our personal journey. Any thoughts?
Absolutely. And exactly what you said. We're influenced by everything that surrounds us. You turn on the TV at night and you're listening to the news. You're filtering all that information. You're watching the commercials. You're watching the way people look on the commercials, what they're saying, what they're selling, the way in which they're selling it, the TV shows that we watch, the music that we listen to. There's always messages and influence in every single part of our life. And what we choose to focus on is what's going to allow us to, go one way or another. And it's so, I don't know what the word is, but with people in our lives, it's real easy to soak in all of their perceptions, what they think we should be doing, what they think would be the best career choice, what they think we should or shouldn't do for our business. Or you hear all the time, oh, that's a stupid idea, that'll never work. Yet I bet you if you look at any of the main, look at Nike, look at Walt Disney, look at, Amazon, Facebook, all this stuff when it was first thought of was, oh, that'll never take off. And here it is, they're leading the industry in what they do.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's not said without a reason that some people who really succeed on a higher level are the most insane ones in the world. You have to be slightly bonkers, slightly insane to really make it on a higher level because it does require discernment. It does require focus on to the degree which all of those outside influences are essentially preventing us from having. So
yeah, and it's, and I think about so many times, and the perfect example is if you think of like the MLMs, right? Like the Amways and the different multi-level marketing companies. And the minute you get excited about something like that, everyone has an opinion on it. Oh, nobody's going to buy from you. Oh, you're just joining a scam. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And yet there are people who are very successful at it. Why are they successful? Because they tuned out the negative talk. They tuned out the negative thoughts. They believed in something. And when you believe in something, that's where that magic happens. If you don't believe in it, you're never going to be successful in it.
yeah,
But when
I
we
mean,
constantly listen, go ahead.
sorry. No, I mean, in terms of MLMs, I mean, this is a very delicate subject because obviously there's network marketing, which is an actual company or actual business, and then there are those pyramid schemes which it's very hard to kind of see one from the other. So that's not a thing. But generally speaking, right now it's not the only type of business that has that, right? Because being in coaching and consulting is the absolute exact same thing. Everybody wants to be in it. A lot of times, people who are not completely prepared or experienced to be doing that, whether in business or in life, or just like trying to teach people what they don't know themselves. But yeah, I absolutely agree. In every single type of business, you need to tune yourself out, and you need to be able to, make a decision that regardless of what other people are saying, you have a goal that you are willing to do anything it takes to get to.
Yeah, The first thing I thought of when you said that was, I think was the movie Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money, that scene. And it's so true, because you get into these different environments and everyone's a guru, right? And oh, listen to me, I've done this, and oh, look at it, and they get so hyped, but then they don't have the backing or the proof behind it. So being able to get to that point where you do have that proof, and even I'll go even deeper with it, not needing the proof.
Yeah.
Who needs that?
I mean, the proof should be in your clients, or should be in the people that you lead. That is my, especially in coaching or consulting, this is my personal opinion that I have a soft or a very short fuse when it comes to, the bank statement people. I earned this and this much money. I just don't think this is the right thing. Is that what we're excited about, nowadays? Is that the only um is it the only way that we can show value? I just completely disagree with certain tactics, and I believe, coming back to the MLM situation, a lot of times people just associate it with the wrong things. I mean, there's a lot of network marketing companies who are absolutely great. I personally know people from very high up in network marketing, great people, genuinely wanting to help others on their journey. And having quite a struggle of trying to show others of how good it is, right?
Yeah, and I would say it's not so much the program itself, it's the misperception of the get rich quick scheme. The only have to sign up this many people and they have to sign, and that's where I have the issue. There's great things with some of those MLM companies, and there's some great training with some of them, but I think so many people focus on the just recruit sell mentality, as opposed to how do I build, how do
Yeah,
I truly build a solid team? And that could be in any form of business, not just network marketing or MLMs, any business. How do I build a solid team? How do I get people in line with my mission? What is my mission? What is it that I want to accomplish by doing this? Because it's not about the money. Yes, we need money to survive. Yes, money helps the world go round. And yes, there are many factors to having money. There's many benefits to having money. So,
yeah,
but it's not, that shouldn't be the sole purpose. I want to do this to get rich. Okay, great. Why do you want to get rich? Why are you going to for the status? What are you going to do with that money? How is that money going to impact your life? How is that money going to impact other people's lives? What are you going to do to make a difference with that money? How is this going to make your life better?
right.
What
That's
frames?
my favorite subject. That for a fact. I stand highly against, outer motivations being the only factors of actually running a business or being in business or doing anything in life for that matter. Because whatever goals you set for yourself, if the I want to look good, I want to have this car, I want to have this house, or I want to have that money is the only motivation that you're having, it does not have the ability to, or the longevity, the ability to just be something that you build, that you create, that is going to last you for years. It is what I think. What are we getting towards here? Is the misconception um, of running a business just for the sake of getting something out of it. Like, we're coming back to the influence that we discussed in the previous episode, right? It's not about just getting, it's about that exchange of value, whether it is exchange of knowledge, exchange of monetary values. But nevertheless, there needs to be the exchange in order for this to have any sort of base or ground, right? So yeah, it's just a case of you say get rich quick. If you want to get rich quick, you can, I don't know, solve, what is it called? Like the surveys online, you're going to get money as well. So, and you don't necessarily have to deal with people and hurt them along the way. I've had so many people coming to me being hurt by that poor misconception of this being the only motivation of running a business, that I believe that there is some person that is lying to others.
Well, and it makes you think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Stephen Covey in Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, talks about your center, your base, right? You can be people centered, friend centered, money centered, whatever. And if I remember correctly, the quote was something along the lines of this: if who I am is based on what I have, and what I have is lost, then what am I? And it really made me think, right? Because if we're putting all of our value of who we are based on our material possessions, oh, I bought this $15 million house. What if that house burns down? Are you nobody anymore?
Yeah.
No. What if you get into a car accident and that you don't have that vehicle? If you're placing all your value on the things that you have or the materialistic things, and those things are gone, then what are you left with? So the influence, the habits, the who we are as a person, our core values, that's where I believe is the influence. That's where we're going to make that impact, is finding who we are and living a life of impact. Whether that doesn't have to be, I mean, I'm all for impacting others and creating influence and being, inspirational. I love that. But who are we as a person? What is it that sets our soul on fire? What is it that makes us want to jump out of bed in the morning? And yeah, maybe those things, those cars, the houses, the all those extras are a benefit. Those are a result of that core value. They're a result of the influence. They're a result of the habits.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not the core.
there's nothing wrong in having money. I mean, this is a goal itself. We all have to pay bills. We all have to live our lives, and it's nicer to live it in a nice environment, right? So, this
Absolutely.
is in itself, it is important to not just play business, but to actually have a business. And you only have a business if you have clients and sales and, well, money essentially out of it, right? There is another quote that I've heard recently that I think is kind of representative of what you're talking about. And it says something along the lines of, you are as powerful as you are aware, and as dangerous as you are ignorant. And I think it depicts it very, very well, because regardless of what you have, really, if you're a crap person, you're just going to, spread um, negativity around you. You're not really going to care about those people who are getting into your environment in some shape or form. But if you are aware of your intentions, of what it is that you want to do, how it is that you want to help, and how it is that you want to live your life as a human being, then the power that you have that comes from that predicament is much, much bigger, and it can make massive change.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong, like what you said, with material things. It That's the beauty of the entrepreneurial journey, right? Is being able to create this lifestyle that we want for ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we should deny ourselves those beautiful things. I'm just saying that shouldn't be the focus and the only influence for it. We shouldn't be doing this just for the nice car or for the nice house. Yeah, that's a benefit. That's a bonus. That is an added bonus for our hard work. That's an added bonus for being intelligent. And you talked about the clients and this, and there's so much more to business beyond the clients and the sales. And
Yeah.
for me, the way I built my business is it's all about relationship. It
Yeah.
is all about relationship and being able to serve your client. If you're going after a sale, there are people, and this is where I differ from a lot of people in business. If you're going after a sale, that's great, but you're not going to create lasting, that's my thought. Yes, there are people who make millions of dollars being salespeople and just selling, selling, selling. For me, it's about the relationship. And if we can create relationships where we build trust, where people know who we are, where, you know, we truly care about our clients and their success, whatever realm that is. My main businesses are in entertainment. So
Yeah.
I make sure my clients are taken care of on the entertainment side. And there's so much different areas, but truly caring about our clients and creating those relationships is where I think there's a lot of power.
And yeah, and and that caring and that approach actually essentially brings you more sales. It brings you more clients, because people are pleased to work with you, because they know that's not the only goal and not the only intention with which you're coming to them. And I think that's the essential part. Of course, I mean, we're not the only ones getting those messages every single day, and for a fact you get those messages. You can feel which energy people are coming to you. If they're coming from the energy of building, if they're coming from the energy of love, from transformation, from care, you can feel that. And if they come, just to say, as I say, taking me out on a date after the first hello, which is like, hey, how are you? Buy my stuff. Then this is something that you feel as well. This is not something that is going to take you very, very far, unless you kind of tweak it and adjust it to treating others as you wish to be treated.
Yeah, and getting back to that, influencers, who is it that we're following? Who are we listening to? Who, if you're in sales, what sales people are you following? If you're in marketing, what marketing people are you following? And how are we just taking that information and not just listening to it? How are we applying that information? And how are
Mm.
we choosing? How do we choose who to listen to? How do we make those decisions on who we want to influence us? What is it that we're looking for? And that's something I would ask, anybody listening right now. When you're out there looking for your mentors, for your coaches, for your, anybody who's going to influence you, who do you want to follow?
Yeah,
And what is it
who
about
do you
them?
pay attention to and why, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And being
um,
intentional about it, because we can listen to everybody and we're going to get mixed messages. I know I'm not going to resonate with everybody. You're not going to resonate with everybody. There's millions of speakers out there. There's millions of coaches and millions of people doing different things. So it's not always about just listening to everything that's shared. It is finding those messages and those people that align with you. And that's where I think there's difficulty in finding that influence.
Yeah, I mean, being in marketing for over 16 years, I kind of look at it differently. But obviously, because I am already messed up a little bit. I see behind the messages, I don't see people. I see marketing plots. I see strategies. I see, someone's writing, and I know who coached them. I'm a little bit. I do understand. People first coming into business should have that discernment and should pay attention to not who sold you better or how excited you got because that sales stack was so sexy or so attractive, but how did they make you feel? Are they bringing any value into your life? Are you being choosy of who you listen to in those terms? Like, obviously everybody's going to tell you can make $100,000 every month, but those people usually are the people who are not even closing 1,000 sales, and I've seen that many, many times. It's just, just look beyond the words and kind of focus on the feelings. That's what I would advise, essentially.
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head is, you know, educate yourself, look, watch, be observant, see who's out there, and see what you choose to follow. Make decisions based on where you want to be and people who you truly feel will get you there.
So
You
there you
know,
go. This is about, and it goes both ways, right? People who create the biggest movements, and movement is essentially something that creating those habits of influence is for. A movement where there's a healthy environment around the person, that is essentially the leader, and has good intentions, and wants to get you to those high results. It's something different than just a temporary fad, right? Or a temporary marketing scheme, or a good ad or whatever. It's not just one component. It's like everything around that person, of how that person shows up, of how they lead others, how they treat them. Not just pre-sale or during the sale, but also after the sale, when they're delivering their values, or exchanging their goods, and nurturing those people further. That's what we should pay attention to mostly.
and I think that's a great point with being able to see beyond the initial, right? Not just what they're presenting in a program or what they're doing, but how are they truly living their lives?
Yeah.
And okay, they're bringing in the revenue? Great. What are they doing with their revenue? And are they involved with nonprofit organizations? Are they giving back to the community? Are they doing things for charity? What are they doing? And what are the things that you align with? What is it that you want for your life? How do you want to see yourself? And finding people that are doing what you want.
Yeah, yeah. Do they? Yeah, exactly. Are those the kind of people that have the traits that you wish you had, or you wish you explored in yourself? Because usually, I know that for a fact from experience of working with people, is we do possess those traits of the people that we look up to. It's just that they are so hidden that we need to kind of take them out and cultivate them enough to become our normal set points, right? Those habits. So yeah, and also, aside of that, I would say, yeah, okay, are they doing the charity, but are they boasting about doing charity? Are they showing it off, or are they just doing it because this is an actual calling and something that they want to do? Because I don't know if you've noticed, this has happened before. It's just like doing charity is, I don't know what young people call it nowadays, like jazzy. um, Yeah, that it's trendy. Like essentially being, involved in charities is something that you should do because, not because you care, because you want to, because it's important to you, but because it's going to look good, in the eyes of other people.
Well, and bringing that up, we've all seen the people that do it for attention, right? You're going out, oh, let me take a picture of myself giving a sandwich to somebody who's homeless, and then they run away and they don't talk to the people, and it's not genuine, it's not truly who they are. But that's, I would rather not focus on those things. I wouldn't say let's just find those people who they walk the walk, and they don't
Yeah.
even have to. And what my experience, and I could be wrong, but this is my experience, is that the people who truly walk the walk, the
Yeah.
ones who are successful, the ones who truly have that giving heart, they're not the ones bragging about it.
Absolutely.
They're
Absolutely.
not out there showing the world, oh, look at how much I'm doing. They're just doing it, and the
Mm.
world notices because they're doing it. So it's a
Absolutely.
difference.
Yeah, I agree. And a disclaimer, no names are going to be named, good or bad.
I
Yeah,
name
but
my
yeah,
name.
okay. I agree, and it's so funny because I can say that I can sometimes, you get shocked to follow somebody and you get into their lives a little bit deeper because obviously right now being in business or being an influencer is sort of kind of like being a celebrity, and a lot of times you just seek information about people. You just want to know as much about them as possible, and people who are leaders are making it easier more than ever for people to kind of find information on them. And you really don't need to show off. You don't need to brag because there are ways to find information about you, what you do, and it's not necessary to show it off on the internet or just say, I'm so good, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, because it will come out. We live in
And,
a world where people peep into other people's windows through
and there's
Facebook and
and there's nothing wrong for being recognized. And that was another thing that I struggled with for a long time, was I didn't like recognition. If I did something, I did not want anybody to recognize me. And I've learned along the way is there's nothing wrong with that recognition.
no,
There's
no,
absolutely
no,
nothing wrong. Again, it comes down to the why. The why are we doing it? And the reality is, if you're doing something good and you're creating a difference in people's lives, it doesn't really matter why you're doing it, right? But
yeah.
there's a genuineness and a fakeness, right? And if we're doing it to be fake and just to promote our business or for whatever, then maybe that may not be the core value that we want to associate with. If, at least for me, I am about being genuine, not being fake, and truly just being a good person. That's what I want to do. But that doesn't mean that's what everyone wants to do. Some people just want to get rich just to get rich, and that's okay. That is their choice. That's their prerogative. Think about Bobby Brown.
And you know what? It's about, and I've seen it a lot of times now that we have this trend coming forward. It's like you are not allowed to talk about your life at the same time. Like you should always angle everything towards business. No, because the people who are the biggest in the industry, bear in mind they do show their lives. I'm not talking about what we just said here. They're not like going into, feeding people that are homeless or just giving out blankets. I mean, not everybody's Mr. Beast, right? Just regardless, there are people who made a whole big career out of it, and he's doing some great stuff, by the way. Kudos to him. But at the same time, not everybody needs to do it this way. It's just about being genuine, about being normal, and about being human, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's something to be, and you mentioned, we have, it seems like these days we're expected to live in this fake world, right? We're expected to be happy all the time, and oh, don't let anybody see you cry, and or the exact opposite is, oh, be an emotional wreck all the time. And no, just be real. And I think that's what seems to struggle with so much in current times, is just be real.
Yeah.
Share your story will influence somebody, like you were saying earlier, somebody's been through the same thing that you've been through. You and I have different stories, we have different backgrounds. Talking about this podcast, you talked about the good, the bad, the ugly. You can be the good, I'll be the bad and the ugly. We complement each other, right? so
I
so
would say, I'd probably say that it would go the other way around, but okay, it's like I'm the ranting one, yes.
but it really comes down to just being genuine, and just I really feel that's so important, and sharing those stories, because our
Yeah,
stories are who we are. They're what made us up. And just because we've had stuff in our past, or many of us have had traumatic pasts, we're not stuck there, but it's a catalyst for where we were to where we want to go and where we're going, the direction we're heading. And we all have the power, we all have the influence to create the life we desire, no matter what's happened in our lives. But by sharing who we are, by sharing our experience, by sharing our story, we're able to connect with people on a deeper level. And we're able to find people who may have been through similar things and help us get through it. Or the vice versa. We may have been through something and we can help other people because we're not afraid to share our experience. So get rid of the false lens, get rid of the, societal standards and having to be a certain way, and be you. If we're talking about influencers, be you.
Yeah, the strange, sometimes quirky, annoying you, because there will always be someone who will essentially become inspired by you. Just, realize the responsibility that comes with it. So, yeah. So, what would you say are habits of influence then?
Well, I was gonna switch from what you just said, because you brought up something, and in business, it's been very true. You're going to attract people and you're going to lose people. As we grow, as we're on this growth journey, we're going to attract people and we're going to lose them. We're
Well,
going to piss people
repelling,
off.
repelling the wrong people is the whole point of being an entrepreneur. I mean, like, if you really want to grow and take this long term, there's no point in having like millions of followers that don't care about what you have to say, but essentially getting a handful of the right people, right? Who was it that said that you only need 100 true fans in order to make it big in business?
I don't remember who it was, but I remember hearing it.
Yeah, there you go. So it's about, having a handful of genuinely built relationships, and it's going to be much more powerful than having that millions, billions, billions of followers that, are just waiting for you to give them, something for free and not give you anything back. Like I said, it is an exchange, right?
Indeed.
Well, there you go. So that is it. Habits of influence. Should we continue in another episode?
Absolutely. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
thank you so much for being here today, Ian. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was Habits of Influence podcast. If you want to listen to more of our rambling, then I highly suggest you subscribe to Spotify or Apple iTunes or any other major podcasts. I mean, we are everywhere right now. And if you prefer to look at our ugly faces or our lovely faces, on the other hand, for some people, again, we all have different perceptions, then subscribe to our YouTube channel called Habits of Influence. And of course, tap that notification bell so that you will never miss another episode. We are here every week with you to guide you on your journey.
Have a great week, everybody. See you next week.